Welcome back. You're watching News X. My name is Vineet Malhotra. Well, the Supreme Court has released the inquiry report filed by the Delhi High Court Chief Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay into the controversy involving High Court Justice Yashwant Verma. In his report, the Delhi High Court Chief Justice said he is of the prima facie opinion that the entire matter warrants a deeper probe. Well, the Supreme Court also released the response of Justice Yashwant Verma, who has denied the allegations and said that it clearly appeared to be a conspiracy to frame and malign him. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has officially released videos from inside Justice Verma's residence where one can see stacks of Indian currency, 500 rupee notes. Well, we'll talk about this and get our guests also to weigh in on this extremely serious matter. Joining us on the show is Mr. Yogendra Kapoor. He's a senior economist. Mr. A.K. Singh, advocate of the Supreme Court, also joining us on the broadcast. Thank you, gentlemen, for being a part of this conversation. Mr. Singh, I'll begin with you. I hope you can hear me. Mr. Singh, if you're there with us. All right. Mr. Dinesh Jotwani, advocate Supreme Court, also joins us on the show. Mr. Jotwani, thank you for speaking with us. I hope you can hear me, sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Well, so this is the case, Mr. Jotwani. There was a fire. It was reported. The fire department showed up. They doused the flames. They stumbled upon a room which had stacks of cash, large stashes of cash. We are not sure how much that money was. It was upwards of 10 crore rupees. It's in double figures is what we are getting to know. This was reported to the higher up. In fact, it went so high up, it reached the Chief Justice of India, Justice Khanna, Chief Justice Khanna, who in fact invoked the collegium into this. They in fact rubbed their heads together. They decided to transfer Justice Verma back to his parent court, which is in Allahabad, until an investigation is concluded. Now, the important point to note here is, sir, that no police inquiry can be commissioned into this. There is no other vertical which can in fact get into probing any Chief Justice or any High Court judge if there is a crime or if there is an impropriety that happens. What do you make of what's happened over here? A lot of people are saying this is perhaps a microcosm of what exactly is wrong with Indian judiciary and the collegium, which in fact is an outdated system of figuring out who the judges are going to be.
Yeah, I agree with this. This is absolutely worrisome, and the law should not restrict us from actually probing further. I know the judges can only be probed through a judicial committee, and which has thankfully been formed of the judges who are outside Delhi. They cannot be influenced. So it is a very good step by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. But at the same time, I think you're right when you say there is a limitation of laws, and especially in investigation. You see, I read the response completely that is given by the judge, and it shows it does shows his defense, but at the same time it also raises many questions that need to be probed, and this can only be seen. It can only be done by an investigation agencies. Perhaps the committee that has been formed to probe, constituting the judges, may have help from the Commissioner of Police. They may have help from other sources, CBI. There may be, requirement of the Department of Financial Services, who takes care of the notes, the currency notes that were there, and what was the numbering on that, because that money trail needs to be seen. The fact that has not been denied so far is that there has been a stash of money found. Now, what Justice Yashwant Verma has said is that this was outside his house. This was something outbound, as he says. But at the same time, the fact is that there has been a money found. It has been video recorded. There are people who are fighting the fire. And where is that money right now? Who has seized that money? Where exactly? What are the numbers on that? How much it is? All that is still not clear from the response. And one thing you would have noted that in the letter that has been written to Chief Justice of India, It has also been said not to delete any data, or to use the mobile further, or to preserve the data on the laptops, digital data that is there. So all that, what I'm trying to come here is that ultimately this digital evidence needs to be forensically seen, and this can only be seen by investigating agencies. And we have not seen in the report, we haven't seen in the report which investigation agencies. Of course, the name of the honorable judges constituting the committee is there, but who is ultimately going to see from forensic perspective, from investigation perspective? What about CCTVs that could have been there in the common area? If it was some kind of an outbound area, then there has to be some CCTVs footage from last 1 month, 30 days, who was coming in and going, and whether it was locked premises or it was not locked premises. So there are many unanswered questions, I think.
Mr.
And
Jotwani, there is also this big question, what if such stacks of money were found in your house or my house? What if they were found in a government servant's house or a member of parliament's house? They would have been towed away by now and put into jail now, or the ED would have summoned, or the CBI or the police would have taken charge of this entire investigation, because this is illegal wealth. This immunity that the judges are enjoying at this point in time. Of course, there is always a line that the media also draws when you talk about the judiciary, because it is a pillar of hope for a democracy of 1.4 billion people. But the fact of the matter is that there are some anomalies here which definitely need to be addressed. Perhaps this case brings out a system or a systemic change that is urgently required.
yeah, I mean, to some extent, I agree that there has to be an immunity for the judges, because they do day to day, they give judgments, and on criminal cases, and so some kind of immunity in their functioning needs to be there. If there is an order that has been passed, or if there is a judgment or a remark in the court that has been done, there is a fair defense that they should get. But this is a case where stash of money has been found in the premises. So we need, and this is a government bungalow. As you rightly said, it's a government bungalow, and so who is responsible for this? So somebody needs to answer that. And this is not a judicial function, by the way. I mean, I can understand the immunity with respect to the function that the judge does, and we are all, a constitution has provided that immunity. But this is something going beyond, if even a member of judiciary, he's done some crime, so that will not be saved by the constitutional defense. So from that perspective, I was, in my last show also, I recommended that there has to be an investigation agency forming.
But Mr. Jotwani, the question is, who's going to investigate him? Gautam Mukherjee, senior journalist, is also joining us on the broadcast. Gautam, this is a double-edged sword. If the collegium is going to decide what happens to Mr. Verma, and if they come up with a guilty verdict, then perhaps it's all hunky-dory. But if they don't, and they say that, he should be exonerated, it was a conspiracy against them, then obviously the collegium is also going to be put into disrepute. And of course, let's also not forget the recourse that the Supreme Court also took by transferring him back to the Allahabad court. What does this say? That, he's not fit for Delhi High Court, but he's fit regardless of what has happened, regardless of this unproven taint, I'll give him